morning, everybody out there in TikTok land. So, looking at a couple of rockets today, I'm liking a lot. Um, for any of you women out there, you'll appreciate this. So, it's actually a medication by Dare Bioscience. So, it's DARE, just Dare Bioscience. They created a possible non hormonal uh, contraception. So obviously that surged like mad this morning. So definitely keep an eye on that one. That'll be a big one, I think, in today and then also in the long term. I mean, it's already up 226% today already, 209% today. That's Dare Bioscience, DARE, Dare Bioscience, and I think that's definitely going to be something to watch today. So is Stardust Power. I don't know if you're familiar with Stardust. I've talked about them before. They've got a new lithium refinery that they're supposed to build. So that's some news that's going to bring that up because they also had a big raise or recently, big money raise here recently. So, but yeah, that's Stardust Power, and they've surged quite a bit. That's SDST. Um, There's also Sonnet, SONN, Sonnet Biotherapeutics. And Sonnet, they had a big crypto deal. Again, it's just so weird to me because, it's kind of what happened to Stay in Your Lane. That doesn't really exist anymore. We had Sonnet Biosciences, and they're into some type of a crypto deal with Hype Token, which HYPE, Hype Token. But anyway, there's massive deals going on. So obviously, Sonnet Biotherapeutics has surged as well, and I think it will continue to because of this. I mean, this is the Wild West that we live in, and so once again, what I'm looking at this morning, Stardust Power, they're creating a new lithium refinery, which I think will be a big deal. That's going to be SDST. That's Stardust Power, and then Dare, DARE, Dare Bioscience. Once again, they created non-hormonal contraception. So for the females out there, like Kimberly that just joined, hello, good morning, Kimberly. You just joined. Wouldn't you be happy to be able to take a non-hormonal contraception? I'm sure you would be. I don't take contraception, obviously, because I'm a guy, but I would think that would be a big deal. I don't know. And then Sonnet Biotherapeutics, and they're potentially getting into some type of a deal with Hype Token to create, yet another crypto treasury. So I'm starting to get a little wary of this whole crypto treasury thing. This has been going on like a couple times a week now, where all of a sudden these companies like Biotherapeutics is all of a sudden has a crypto trade. Why? Why are you having a crypto treasury? You're a biotherapeutics company. Why do you want to have that? I don't understand that. So I think that it might be something that kind of loses its luster eventually. But for right now, I mean, I still think it's, still crypto obviously being the Wild West. But of course, I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch my Sunday night school sesh last night. I talked about it. I mean, this week's a big week. We got the big banks, all of them. We got Bank of America, Wells Fargo, J.P. Morgan Chase, we have Goldman Sachs. We have all these different, money companies. Basically, it's basically the benchmark for our economy is our banks, our banking system. That's how we live. That's how we do everything. And they're going to be releasing all their earnings this week. So that's a big, this is a start of earnings season. Like I said, there's a baseball season and a football season. Well, for us weirdos that like to do this crazy shit, we have earnings season. So we don't have a jersey. We don't have a stadium. We just sit here and stare at the news and watch and see what our earnings are going to be. So it's nothing nearly as exciting. Anyway, for those just joining, there's a bunch of new people just got on. So we're looking at Dare Bioscience, DARE, Dare Bioscience. Once again, creating a non-hormonal contraception, which is a big deal. So they've passed phase 3 trials, so that's obviously going to be a big deal. It surged 222% already this morning. I don't think it's done with something like that. That's some pretty monumental, foundational news. And then Stardust Power, They had a big raise recently. Stardust Power did. They're a penny stock. Don't get too much into penny stocks, but I keep an eye on things. But they had a big raise recently, and then also they're going to be creating a lithium factory, which obviously, lithium is a big deal. How we create batteries for everything we do, pretty much. So Stardust Power is SDST, and that's up this morning quite a bit too. And then Sonnet Biotherapeutics, which once again, getting into Hype Token, HYPE, Hype Token. They're getting into that as far as doing a Hype Token treasury. And that's going to be SONN, Sonnet Biotherapeutics, is up considerably. So, of course, one of my favorites was IBIT, which I told you guys about a long time ago. I told you about IBIT back when it was $32 a share, and it's now $69 a share. I don't know if anybody got into that back in the day, but I hope you did, because, with crypto being over 120K now, IBIT's looking really, really juicy right about now. So not sure if you got into that and if you're doing options or anything like that. IBIT's definitely a good one to be selling calls on and, and making some money on. So once again, a bunch of people just joined. Good morning. Thank you for joining me, Monday Morning Rocket. People have been watching me for a long time know that I do this if I see something juicy. And I see Dare Biosciences, DARE, Dare Biosciences. They're creating a non-hormonal contraception, and they just passed their phase 3 trials, which is a big deal. So Dare, DARE, Bioscience, and then SDST, which is Stardust Power, okay, creating a lithium refinery. As I said, they just had a big raise recently, a big financial raise, $888 million or some crazy thing. So they're going to take some of that and they're going to create this lithium refinery, which will be a big deal. So they're up quite a bit today as well. They're a penny stock. I don't get too much into penny stocks, especially ones that have, had a jumpy. It got all the way down to 19 cents recently, but now it's up to 60 cents. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll continue to surge. So not sure if you guys are looking at anything. Let me know if you're looking at anything this morning. Of course, we got, these EU and Mexico tariffs plus Canada tariffs that Trump's mentioning. So we're going to have, it appears that the market might open a little bit down today, which is understandable. As I said last night on my Sunday night school session, I don't know if you saw it, I just uploaded it. Watch that for a little bit. It's a good watch. Just talking about what we got going on this week as far as earnings season. And then also we have a whole lot of reports coming out. We have the IPI coming out, which is our import index, which is a big deal because we're going to see what's going to happen, with that. That's a good benchmark for inflation and where we're at with inflation. And because, inflation is a big deal. None of us like paying $10 for eggs like I do. Sucks. I don't really eat eggs much anymore because, I got to save up for it. Anyway, and then Sonnet, SONN, Sonnet Biotherapeutics. They're getting into a Hype Treasury, HYPE, Hype Treasury, which is a crypto coin. And they're getting into, this Hype Treasury, which, as I said, I don't know how I feel about all these different crypto treasuries that everybody's trying to start. They talk about it. The stock jumps like crazy and then usually tanks because it's just, I don't think anybody really understands what the hell it even means to have a crypto treasury. It's kind of crazy. But it's still the Wild West of crypto, and with crypto being, $120,000. Price targets have it now at like, $250,000 by next year. So that's a big deal. I've seen some analysts say that they think that crypto has that kind of power. So if you have, the possibilities of buying IBIT, which is a crypto, ETF. As I've said before, I told you back when it was $32 a share to buy IBIT. So if you guys did and you're hanging on to it, you're probably pretty damn happy. I obviously would be selling calls on it, making money on it anyway, like I'm doing with all my other ETFs right now. But anyway, some people just joined. Thank you, John, Marty, Eric, for joining. Appreciate it. Good morning. Good Monday morning to you. Definitely Dare Biosciences. It just dropped a little bit, but now it's going straight back up again. Once again, creating a non-hormonal contraception, and they are in phase 3 trials. They just had positive results for that, for their phase 3 trials with non-hormonal contraception. So any of the ladies in here that can recognize that, kind of a big deal. So, but yeah, they started this morning at $2.48. They are currently at $8.89. So they're up about 254%, which is a big deal. and I think they're gonna. I think this stock here, I think today is not done. It's not done. It's going to continue, I think, to surge quite a bit. That's like monumental, big deal. So, and then we have SONN, Sonnet Biotherapies. They're talking about their new hype treasury, hype crypto coin treasury. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. So once again, we're looking at SONN, which is Sonnet Biotherapeutics, and we are also looking at Dare Biosciences, and then Stardust Power creating their lithium refinery, potentially. Now, once again, Stardust Power is a penny stock, so be really careful. Make sure you got your stop orders set. Once again, this isn't advice. I'm just telling you kind of what I'm looking at for this morning, what I'm investing in. Made a little bit of money on the biosciences one already, and then Dare Bioscience rather, yeah. So I bought that when it was $7.10 a share, and it is now up to $9.12 a share. So I'm up a couple bucks on that one, $1.50 on that one. So it's good. Anyway, you guys looking at anything this morning? I mean, this is the big week. It's our earnings season, the starting of our earnings season. What stocks are you guys looking at? Tell me. What are you guys looking at? What do you guys want? We also have a lot of reports coming up as well. So keep in mind, it's also kind of the report season, I guess you could say. We have consumer price index, jobless claims, retail sales, the import pricing, the IPI import price index coming up. That's a big one because that's definitely a good indicator about inflation and where we're at with inflation. Thoughts on MDAI as a long-term hold through their FDA results. MDAI. Let's see who MDAI is. I don't recognize MDAI. Spectra A. Well, they got some pretty. Wow. So in the short term, it looks like they've done pretty good. I mean, they've definitely tanked a lot since their IPO back in 23. They started at $7.86, and they're down to $2.85. So, but if you look in the past month, they've definitely surged quite a bit from 214 all the way up to 316. So a buck in the past. The Spectra AI, let's see, predictive artificial intelligence company. So, as I said, these are, very speculative stocks because once again, AI, like crypto, is kind of the new Wild West, and we don't really have, if you watch me, you know that I like to see stuff that has long-term past, so I can look at it and see, from the past histories, what's gone on, how its behavior has been, to be able to really evaluate it. I would definitely check the beta on it and see where that's at before you really put too much into it. Because obviously the beta is comparison to a common stock in the S&P 500 and how volatile it is compared to the basic stock in the S&P 500. So the beta is always very important when you're talking about doing something long term, okay? And also looking at it, you want to make sure that, in my opinion, I don't buy stocks that I can't trade options on. So this one does not have an option to trade options. So I would not buy it myself because I can't trade options on it, okay? Why? Because if the stock tanks, I can't sell options. That's the great thing about options is if you buy it and it sinks and it goes all the way down, as long as you can still trade options on it, you can still make money on it even if it's down, which is what I've done with my oil ETF, which I lost a shit ton of money on, but I'm still making money on it with the options, so selling calls. So anyway, as I said, these are very speculative, so just definitely, be careful. Just be careful on that one. So once again, what we're looking at today, Dare Biosciences. But looking at that, once again, contraception that is non-hormonal, which is a huge deal. Any females out there that, you guys know what we're talking about. So, of course, Trump also, with the new tariff nonsense he's doing, starting, keeping this trade war going for absolutely no reason. He's attacking Powell, trying to get Powell to quit, but Powell's a tough guy. Good luck with that. Anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at for today. Once again, we're looking at Dare, D-A-R-E, S-O-N-N, Sonnet. And I was looking at Stardust Power as well, SDST. The Stardust Power is their new lithium factory, the refinery, rather, that they're going to be opening after they got a huge raise, about $888 million. So there's definitely something to look at. And then with Dare Biosciences, the non-hormonal contraception, and then Sonnet Biotherapies, which is SONN. a new hype treasury, hype coin treasury, crypto treasury. Once again, I mean, I don't know how long this whole treasury thing is going to be a big deal, but we'll see. It seems like, you know, a lot of the stocks we've seen in the past couple of months that all they have to do is announce some new crypto treasury of some type, and all of a sudden they go up to the roof. Not all of them. I've seen some of them tank too. So just be really careful. As I said, once again, this is still the speculative wild west. Okay, I mean, this is yeah, this is not your grandfather's stock market anymore. So anyway, all right. If you guys don't have anything you're looking at, I want to get going. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.